Paul, latest on Billy Sharp first. Has he got any chance of playing this weekend against Bournemouth?
Yeah, but we're not gonna rush him. So, of course, we want him back and involved as soon as possible. So, the moment we get that, we will use him. But at the same time, there's a lot more games after this one, and we want to make sure he's right, because, as I said, any sort of muscle injury, if they're not right, you're just going to make it worse.
Has he trained at all this week?
No, not yet.
Okay.
He's trained, but not with us, so.
But he has got a chance of being involved?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Basham, latest on him? Have you got any kind of time scale yet on when he could be back?
No, I'm not going to. It'd be silly too, but we're happy where he is. He's happy where he is, so he's out twisting, turning, not flat out yet. And again, different to a muscle in it is we keep him working, keep his fitness up, but the last thing he does will be like block tackles, really striking a ball, just because of the injury that he's had. So once he's done that, he's fit and available.
Of all the players that you've got out right now, are Sharp and Basham the only two that you're expecting to come back before the end of the season?
Oh, I've had that. I can't keep up with them. I've not had a chat with Steve before. We've go through them. So obviously Xherdan, Jack, Dids, Ryan, Sharpie, Bash, yeah.
And in terms of the others, if you did make the playoffs, you're currently in there, would that be a possibility for some of them, or with the others, are they kind of looking longer?
Probably not, because obviously we've had operations on like Dids, Ryan, Xherdan. So when we made them decisions along with the players, we're basically writing them off for the season, so pointless jeopardising anything in their recovery, if you like, rehab. So we'll just have to make sure they're right for next season.
We saw Billy Sharp high-fiving people as people came off the pitch in the week, and Rhian Brewster's been talking about watching the games and everything else. Just how important is it that those players that you mentioned that have been out, that have been such important parts of this team, are still very much involved and a part of it? Yeah,
well, it's tough, isn't it? When you're injured, it's tough. You want to play. But these boys we're just speaking about have played a massive part in us having a chance and having an opportunity. So we really value what they've done, and I've spoke to them about they've still got a big part to play. And not only have they already done their bit, but they've still got more to do. And everybody's focused on the same thing, which is giving ourselves a chance come the end of the season. So they want it as much as every player, and so we encourage them to be in and about the place and playing their part, because everybody wants the same thing.
And just to check on McBurney and Uremovic, we talked after the game in the week.
Yeah.
Are they both going to be all right for the weekend with the illness and the bit of cramp and stuff?
Ollie's been fine, obviously. The game will have taken it out of him, we know that, just because of the day he had, and we know that. So, we've been light with those boys again today, the ones who started, and they'll be ready to go again tomorrow.
Just in terms of Oli McBurney, you talked in the week about how you were working with him and how he's taking on instruction and how he's working hard and all that kind of stuff, and clearly he put himself through it in the week, and that's been recognised by a lot of people. How do you get the goals back, though, with him? Because clearly he's shown at this level he has got them in him.
On the pitch. He's not on the score when he's not on the pitch, and he knows that, and I know that. So I'll go back to that Hull game, and he could have easily come off with a couple of goals there. One hit the keeper in the face, couple of headers, some crosses, and he does show a different dynamic with that threat in the box. So the goals will come. It's getting him on the pitch and making sure that he's fit and well, and to do that, to play at a level that contributes to the team as well. So I've no doubt about that. Listen, my focus isn't just on Ollie getting goals, it's on us getting the wins. I know we'll talk about him getting the goals, and I'd love him to get the winner on Saturday. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? But so long as we get points, I'm not bothered. But for him, and I say this with confidence, if he's fit, available and playing well, and he's on the pitch 90 minutes at a time, he'll get goals.
Another player that impressed once again in the week was Morgan Gibbs-White. Is there any chance that this football club could keep him beyond this season?
It's not. Better off asking Wolves. It's not up to us. So the nature of it. When you take loan players, we'll work as hard as we can with Morgan. He's working hard to to help us. So as I said, it's certainly been a good loan for both parties, and yeah, it's not our decision.
Have any conversations been taking place along those lines, either with Morgan himself or with Wolves?
No, Morgan knows what we think of him. Yeah, Morgan knows we'd love to have him here.
I imagine it might depend on which division you're in as well, potentially.
Yeah, but again, it's irrelevant it's totally irrelevant what we think. It's irrelevant what we think, but irrelevant what Morgan thinks, really. It's all down to Wolves.
Wanted to ask about Iliman and Jai as well. Couple of sub-appearances, couple of starts over the last 6 or 7 weeks that have all come away from home. I mean, why has he been used so sparingly recently?
Because others have done better. Simple. Want more from Illy. He knows that. He knows what's expected. So when it was Bill and Morgan and they were scoring and creating, you've got to score and create more than them. He knows what we think of him. I think he's a fantastic talent and really valuable player for us. And that shows the fine margins. You think back to the games where he did play, get goals in him. He's probably in the team, and you're asking me why I'm leaving someone else out, and that's the nature of it. But yeah, no problem with him. What he brings, I know all about, But it's just the nature of first team football. It's getting those starts, contributing, getting more minutes, which then buy you chances to score more goals or create more goals, and then you're in.
Is there more that he can do off the pitch, on the pitch? What more do you want to see from him for him to get more of an opportunity?
You said, you're looking at, I know him, and I know whatever role I ask him to do on the pitch, he'll give it, but then it's that productivity, that effectiveness. No doubt in his football ability. You see that if you go back to the West Brom game at home, the Millwall game at where he was tidy with the ball, like you can see how good a player he is, but go on then, what impact's it going to have? And Blackpool, very similar. It was a tactical change at Blackpool. It wasn't anything to do with Iliman. We just started to get a little bit overrun because there's 3 men up the pitch stayed up, and it could have easily been anyone coming off. But like I said, at that moment in time, Morgan and Billy had been the ones getting the goals. So if we want to get a goal, we leave them on the pitch. And it's probably as clear as that.
I mean, you've shown as a team that you can keep clean sheets, kept another one in the week. I mean, few defences in the Championship will have better players than you've got, particularly looking at the 3 you had the other night. Goals now are probably going to be the key, aren't they, to promotion and where they come from with the strikers that you've got out.
Yeah, but then it's down to all over the pitch, and back to similar to what I spoke about before. The dynamic of the team was forever changing, and we speak about strikers scoring, but the positions we were getting in, the type of delivery we were getting, the opportunities we were creating from certain areas of the pitch, it's constantly been changing. And so it has changed how we want to play. It has changed how we go about the game in order to get that win. So yeah, we'll constantly be looking at that and trying to improve in that area.
Does the fact that Fleck and Stevens and Baldock are all now back help with your chance creation and kind of that dynamic of the team, particularly with John Fleck in the week? He was as good as I've seen for a long time.
There. I thought he was very good. Yeah, excellent. And obviously, I think Ender has got that quality in his left foot. And again, I think Reece has been playing excellently at left wing back. But those are the decisions you have to make, and it is an area that we are working on with Reece to improve and push further, because 100% his games come on leaps and bounds, and we've seen big improvements, and he's certainly got attributes which other players haven't got, and no problem saying that, but likewise he's got other areas in the game where we want to keep improving him. So constantly looking for those, while the options up top may have changed a little bit, so then we have to look elsewhere for the type of chances we create and the amount of, probably.
You've now managed the same number of games this season as your predecessor, Slavisa Jokanovic, in 22. You've got more wins. The team is back in the playoffs. Just how do you feel that you've managed to turn the club season around?
I've done nothing yet, but in terms of happy where we are, satisfied, not happy, because that'll come at the end of the season, hopefully. I think, focus. There's got to be a focus and a hunger, and if you see that, you're relaxed. I'm relaxed and I enjoy it. I don't see it, it's horrible. I don't like this job when I don't see it, because you have to do things about it. And that's how I see my job. Sometimes it's to get on people's nerves, upset people, but it's only with the intention of been better and not being satisfied, and making sure everyone understands how hard it is to win here, how hard it is to get in the team, to stay in the team, to win games. That's it. This league's it's unreal in lots of ways, the amount of games, how close it is, how competitive it is. But you know what? The league we want to get into is even harder. So yeah, it's just a way it is. And if you want to manage, I think, and if you want to improve things, it's non-stop. You just got to keep pushing all the time.
For you personally, how vital is that kind of camaraderie and support from Jack Lester and Stuart McCall and other people been since you took over?
Everyone. Yeah, it has, and it's something I spoke about with Jack and Macca before they came in. The good thing I'd had is I had a taste last year, and circumstances were totally different. The club was, everyone was flat, staff was flat, and probably if I hadn't already had the amount of experience that I'd had in different circumstances at other clubs, big clubs, you can get lost in it. But it was as simple last year about putting smiles on faces and just making it simple, about working hard, enjoying yourself, and not bothering what anyone else thinks other than your teammates and the staff. That's it. This season, similar message, but to a less of a degree, in terms of it wasn't as bad as what people thought, and a squad of really good players at a really good football club with massive support, and a group of staff who's tasted it all before. And you know what, when we did get success here, it was with a hell of a lot less. So I think that was a message, and that's what we spoke about before. And just as I say, on the pitch, say it to players, it is a team game. Not one player gets success on their own. Not one member of staff does either. It really is a team game, and everyone needs to pull in the same direction, understand what the role is, and reinforce that mindset. What I'm on about every day, it's about getting better.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I do enjoy it. Yeah, I do. It's a question you probably get asked the most. Do you enjoy it? What about this situation? What about that? Yeah. It's. I just think it makes you better. Whatever you do, being in this position, whatever you do, it makes you better, because there's nothing like it.
Bournemouth next. Do you expect that they'll probably go up with Fulham, and everyone else is playing for that last spot from the playoffs? Yeah,
they've put themselves in that position where it's theirs to lose, haven't they? And they had a poor result midweek from their point of view, and they'll be thinking this is a tough place to come, which it is. So we know they're going to be fired up. We know they're going to want to get back in winning ways, but we also want the points for our own reasons as well. So I think it's going to be a really good game.
There's been some impressive striking performances this season in the league. Alexander Mitrovic clearly away, but Dominic Solanke's got 24 in 38. How much is stopping him going to be a key part of this weekend?
Yeah, he is the main man. Coming through youth levels, England, Chelsea and Liverpool paying money. If I'm honest, I was surprised it didn't work out for him there. But I'm not surprised now with how he's doing. So yeah, he's a real big part of what they do. But the moment you start focusing on him, we've got players all over with the recruitments they made in January as well. They've got a good squad, and they've got some real attacking options, which I'm sure we'll see on Saturday, whether that's the boys that he starts with or who Scott brings off the bench. So yeah, we know it's going to be a tough game, but I say to our players all the time, if we approach games the right way, I'm not bothered who's in front of us. We'll give anybody a game.
Is the early kick-off an advantage, or could it be?
Personally, I don't like them. I'm not really fussed on it. I know with them playing a day later than us makes an issue, but listen, no one's going to get any sympathy on a workload from me. So no, I'd rather play tonight, and then play it again Saturday. So no, it's their turn, and they have got games over. They're going to have a different run into everyone else, because they've got a couple more games than everyone else, and we know that. But I'm looking at their squad, and they've certainly got the players to cope.